I'm just making this video real quick. A lot of people are asking why their sink garbage disposal is humming, but it's not turning. Now, this ain't one of those videos where people tell you it's stuck, right? Because they ask a question, and this is the question they ask. My garbage disposal is humming, but it turns freely by hand, but it doesn't spin when electricity is applied to it. And people are answering and they're saying it's stuck. Something's jammed in it. Now, why would you answer that like that when he's telling you it turns freely by hand? So let me tell you what the problem is 99% of the time. It's a burn coil. You probably guessed it already, right? So this is only a third horsepower. Don't ever get a third horsepower. These are garbage. Try to get a half a horsepower. Look at all the rust in here. That means that water got in here. This is filled with rust. And if you take a look over here, let me see if I could zoom in. Okay, you see that black right here on the coil? That's where it's burnt. It could be burned on the bottom too, because this coil loops up and down. And that's why you're getting the humming sound. But you're able to turn the rotor, if this is called a rotor, I'm not sure. Is it called an armature or a rotor? I guess it doesn't matter, but this part will turn freely. Okay, and so here's what I did. It actually sounded like a motor with a bad capacitor. So what I did was I spun this part. Okay, it was all together, and I spun the blade part, the blade that chops up the food and whatever you put down there, I guess. And as soon as I turned it really fast, I plugged it in, and it would start turning, but very slowly. And then the smoke came out, and then it smelled. So I basically knew that this was the problem already. So um, let's see. This is gold, right? This one's gold, but the rest of it's red and it's thicker. This one seems to be thin. Now, it's probably not worth it, but you might be able to recoil this somehow. Now, if it's just that one loop over here. But if this is it here, see, it seems to go around. So if that's all of it going all around, then forget it. The other thing you could do is, if you could find where it's burnt, separate all of the pieces like this. Okay, make sure they're all separated, right? And then spray them or cover them with something. I think this is, what is this, lacquer or varnish? I don't know. I don't know the difference. I'm sorry, but anyway, find out on the internet what it is and coat it with that and let it dry for about 3 hours. Keep a fan on it. Then push them, the other way and see if you can coat them on the bottom part. Coat them all over the place. Soak them if you have to. It doesn't matter. The more the better, as long as it stays on there. All right, and then push them back. Kind of gentle, just enough that the rotor isn't going to hit. And I don't think you have to put a zip tie on here, because I don't think these should move, because this part doesn't spin, so it shouldn't move. So what you would do is uh, check everything else out. Like I said, it could be the bottom too. See, look, it goes to the bottom. Okay, so you do have to take this out. I don't know if this could even come out if you force it out. Oh, wait, look, this is how they got it in. Right? So they punched that side of this, and this part must have a hole in it. down here, right on the side. And then that punch goes into that hole. So you would have to drill this out. So when you would put this back in, what you would do is, if you can, let's see. Yeah, you could either try to put it in the same way, and then you could probably put a little bit of weld right through that hole that you made. Or you can turn this just a little bit. I believe you can. And then you punch your own hole. But you would have to mark it, evenly. So, um, this is tight in there because you don't want it to move and you don't want it to be bent either. Or else this piece here will hit it, of course. And after you do that, after you recoat that, you might get away with it. As long as it's not burnt inside of here, right where the insulation is. All right, so you could try that just for an experiment, because these things are probably about what, $60 to $100, and it's a good experiment if you have nothing to do. I did check this piece here, this clutch piece. So what you would do is you would attach your meter, your multimeter, to the orange and the white. That's the ones on mine, orange and white. And then you would push the switch down, and you should see a reading of zeros, or 0.1, something like that. And it should beep if you have a one that beeps. And also you can easily test the circuit breaker. The camera's so blurry, I don't know why. Maybe the lens is dirty. So here is circuit breaker. When it's pushed in, you should get a reading from here to here. And that's about it. If you do get it working, don't forget, put grease on here. Try to get lithium grease if you can, but if not, this thing's old anyway. Just throw any grease in there. You could even use an oil from, like a cooking oil or something. Just temporarily throw something in there. You could use 2-cycle oil from a lawnmower. You just put 1 or 2 drops on there. You wipe it around. Whatever you got, because now who knows how long it's going to last. And if it wasn't squeaking before, then it should be fine. But yeah, you got to put it there, and you got to put it on the other side, right here. All right, before you put it together, and see what happens. All right. Just to let you know, I didn't do this because I had another one already. I had a 0.5 horsepower one, and I'm going to put it on. So I'm not going to bother experimenting with this one. I may use the coil wire, the red one, and maybe build a motor or something one day. But that's about it. All right. Take care.